I think there's going to be a counterculture with AI and people are going to love cool shows. And I think there's nothing more cool than a fucking rock band up there smashing their guitars. The idea of grunge originally had started was been like, okay, like we don't care if we make it. And then they all made it. But yeah, rock and roll music just needs to come back in general.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Musical Musings Podcast. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ride.
Here we'll talk about the music we love, the people and stories behind it, and whatever unexpected rabbit holes our curiosity decides to take us into. So, let's get started. Hey, Luke.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for coming and talking with us today.
Yeah.
So I always like to ask this question first. How did music first enter your life?
Yeah, so from a young age, like my mom she put me in piano lessons. And that's like the most boring instrument to learn as a child, in my opinion. But it gave me a good foundation and I always had music in the back of my mind, but piano wasn't it for me. And then I remember I would tap all the time in class and my teachers would get mad at me. They'd be like, hey, like you can't be distracting other people like that. Cause I'd be like, banging beats.
Uh-huh.
So one day my teachers came to me and they were like, hey, we had a kid drop out of drum lessons and you can take the drum lessons for free, basically. And I was like, absolutely. So when I got drum lessons for the first time, I was like, wow, there's order to chaos from the tapping.
Mm.
And I kind of was able to like channel that energy and then I really like focused on drums. But I don't think I really found like the music that I embody today until about 13 years old when I picked up my first guitar. The first song I ever played was Time of Your Life by Green Day. And I just remember like a feeling of power from playing the guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it felt natural and it felt commanding.
Did you start singing right away with the guitar, or was that?
I had always been a singer, and I think that that's probably why guitar felt natural, because it was a way to like, okay, now you can accompany yourself. My dad was a musician, but I didn't really know my dad growing up. I knew of him, but I met him and that was like nice because like to have like someone that you could look up to.
Yeah.
And so like I developed a love for music based on his lens at that time. And I think that has continued to today. Like I think that those are like the most formative years of my life, from like 13 to 18, because there was a period in which I didn't play music at all, but I played a lot of music during that period, and it was all based on like classic rock, blues, rock and roll, the shit that my dad liked. So that was when I like really found music to be something that could be like a passion as a hobby, like when I started playing it with him. And like we started making money at some point, which was nice, but it was never about that. I had to get good.
Can you talk a little more about what you meant by you felt powerful playing that Green Day song?
Yeah, I don't know, like the guitar feels like a natural extension of your body. Like when you feel connected to like the wood and the strings, there's something electric about it. Like, and especially if you plug that guitar in, then you really feel the electricity and that hums through your body. So guitar really is the one that's just like, okay, like this is something I can do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And do you prefer more acoustic or electric guitar? Or
Acoustic
is it
guitar.
different?
Yeah, acoustic guitar would be my main instrument. It's more percussive, and I like that. Rhythm guitar and like being able to play a song like old school, like James Taylor, the Beatles, these guys that were playing just raw music. That was where I wanted to come from. And it's easy to overload with electric guitar. It's easy to get a huge pedal board, but with acoustic guitar, you just have to focus on the guitar. And I think that is more important to me.
How did it feel like playing some song that you've heard a bunch of times that's like a full band, that's a recording, and then turning it into like an acoustic arrangement? Like, how did that feel?
Yeah, so I mean, like, it took me a long time, and I think my dad had told me, he was like, I think you finally like found your sound, when I had done a cover of Andrew Bird Can Sing by the Beatles. I think that once I kind of found the ability to take full band songs and like make them into like something that's my style and like really do a good justice of a cover, but be completely different, I think that was like a transformative experience. Like maybe 5-6 years ago is when I really started doing that.
Okay. So it's taken a long time to kind of be able to make original arrangements, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I never really liked playing covers. My dad and I played a lot of covers. And so I was like so bent on just playing original music
Yeah.
for so long. And then I realized that there's a lot of songs that I really love playing that aren't my songs. So it's like, why not?
What do you say are like your favorite bands, favorite influences and everything?
My favorite band of all time is Ween. There's no way to describe Ween. They're just an eclectic band of all kinds of music. So I really don't have a favorite style. I think like bands that can consistently perform different styles of music. Like I love Queens of the Stone Age, and those guys just like they make an album version of the song and then a live version of the song, and then they just did like a huge change up of all their songs with like an orchestra. So and like Beck, huge influence. Like every album of Beck is different. I really do like enjoy music that has like a psychedelic flavor to it, music that has a very percussive element to it.
How would you describe like what psychedelic music? What defines
like lush textures, like delay. I love the effect, like a delay. Like give me a good space echo, or like a tape echo, especially. Like I love tape echo sounds. So tape echo, reverbs, phasers, flangers, any of those effects, or all of them at once.
Yeah.
And some fuzz.
Makes you hear
Yeah. That's nice. It's like I also like to like use open tunings. So it's like I think open tunings have like in some of my original songs, like I have like a very drony kind of background to it. So I think it goes back to like Eastern music, Eastern influences.
But when you talk about all these effects, is it easier for you to connect, to receive or transport emotions and thoughts using those effects instead of just using harmonies and melodies?
I think it allows you to take space. Like with acoustic guitar, if you have like a nice reverb or delay, you can play some like really cool stuff on the guitar that isn't really that complicated.
Mhm.
And so you can focus on singing. One thing that I find is I write guitar parts that are way too hard to play. So it's nice to have like an effect that you can just kind of lean on to make things easier for you as a performer.
Okay.
So what changes when you're sitting behind the drums versus holding a guitar and versus singing?
I mean, all of music is like a band. My dad used to say the drummer is the bus driver and the rest of the band is on the bus. And so the bus driver has to go like a certain speed and has to like make sure that the people inside the bus don't do anything stupid,
Yeah.
So I always kind of took that like role seriously as someone who just kind of like, is very inside the lines as a drummer. I've never been that good at like fills, but I've always been good at keeping time. So when it comes to playing drums, I'm like, okay, I'm going to lay it down and I'm not going to move and then allow other people to be the center of attention. When it comes to playing guitar, like you're a little more free form. You're able to kind of color outside the lines and you don't have to be so tied down to like a speed limit. You like I play a lot of bad notes, bad notes. But I think that I allow myself to do that and not feel bad about it on a guitar because it's all jazz, baby. Yeah, I don't feel like that constrained by guitar. Like there's obviously things that sound good, but I'm more willing to paint outside the lines on a guitar, and that's very liberating.
And what about singing? Where does that stand?
Singing is like I'm like the most critical about my singing, and it takes the most work. But it's also like I feel like one that I've worked the least on, and I can still perform at like a relatively high level. So singing for me is like a way to get my emotions out, first of all. Guitar playing is as well, but it's not as raw as singing.
Would you say singing a wrong note is a lot more like obvious and and you do like, punish yourself for it or whatever, like compared to a wrong note on the guitar, like you're saying, like that's not a big deal, but like singing a wrong note is like stands out a lot more, right?
I've gotten a lot less conscious about it.
Or I guess it doesn't have to be, because sometimes it could be very subtle, like just like maybe you didn't like hit the note perfect, but then you kind of slide up to it, right? So
yeah, I think with singing, like you can go off key very easily, and sometimes it's just like, I don't try to beat myself up about it. I just like think about it next time.
Yeah.
And like I don't feel the pressure to not screw up as much in singing, just like guitar, because if you blend the two together in such a way, like it's hard to pay attention to either one. So you can just kind of make it interesting on the guitar and interesting vocally. And so like if you do something weird, then they're just kind of like, whatever.
It's like, I think I've heard for playing music, like if you make a mistake, then just to play it again to make it sound intentional kind of thing.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. I've done that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it with the Esbjørn Svensson trio, which is a fantastic jazz trio, like remarkable music. And it was a live gig, and Esbjørn Svensson, he hit a wrong note. Like complex structure, he hit the wrong note. He just kept on playing and played the wrong note again. Built it in, nobody noticed.
Yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as wrong notes, in my opinion. It's like we've been trained as humans to like hear certain melodies and certain harmonies and things that are familiar to us, but like I don't believe in bad notes, just bad timing.
Really? You believe in bad timing though?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you write your original songs, out of curiosity, do you have what you're trying to express? Do you have a theme that you always come back to, or is it very varied?
Yeah, I typically will write music first and then kind of let the music guide what the theme of the song is. So like recently I've been playing a lot in drop D, like more like angsty sounding stuff, like definitely like Nirvana influence, kind of grungy, Soundgarden-y, cool chord voicings and stuff. And like that to me is like a reflection of like, how I felt in the last year, but like I have a bunch of songs that are like very happy country sounding songs. Just depending on like where I was at in my life. And I don't want to be the kind of artist that sticks to a theme, like maybe per album. I love that. Like write a cool, funk opera, or like, write a cool rock album, or write a cool, acoustic folk rock album. So I think that it just depends. Like I try to write songs that sound the same, but they don't.
So basically you're using music, or you're expressing yourself in an authentic way. You're not trying to emulate or be a role. You're trying to be real about what you do.
Yeah, naturally. Of course. Yeah, I think original music has always been important to me. And the ability to express myself in a way that feels unapologetic is important, because it's like the only time that I'm really vulnerable to like truly be vulnerable is playing songs that I've wrote, because I'm like, here you go, world. Here's something that I've created. And it's like the regular world doesn't get to see that part of me. So in that way, it's like very, very nice.
Just playing like your original music versus a cover, especially live, does that like feel different?
It depends on the crowd. Performing, it's all about the energy transfer of the crowd. So sometimes they don't want to hear original music. Sometimes you can sneak them in and they'll come up to you and be like, hey man, I really like that song. What was that one that you played? And it'll be like, oh, that's my original. So like you can get different energy depending on your crowd. So I much prefer playing original music. But the thing is like if a crowd is vibing to one style of music and like all the originals that I feel like playing are in a different style of music, it seems like a weird juxtaposition.
Yeah. What would you say makes a musician enjoyable to play with?
Creativity, first of all, because like if you have someone that just wants to color inside the lines, like it's really hard to like, for me, stay inside a box. And willingness to adapt. Yeah, willingness to learn and willingness to adapt and willingness to be creative and just kind of be authentic.
What about like for collaborating, writing a song together, or maybe not writing it together, but going to perform it together, and you want to do it really well together.
Yeah, I mean, the song is its own entity. And so, like, whoever is a part of playing that song, it's not for anyone's ego or for anyone to feel good. It's for, like, the good of the song. Anyone that I play with, I'm like, look, let's work on this until it sounds good. And then, like, obviously, good is subjective, but, like, does it do justice to the original if we're doing a cover?
Yeah.
Or, like, if it's an original song, like, does this sound like us? Like, have we made it our song? That's like something that has to be understood by everyone that I collaborate with. It's like, okay, work for the song.
Do you feel like you have to like the same sort of music to be able to like collaborate well? Do you clash more if one person likes metal music a lot, but the other person likes classic rock or something?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Like, you find people, but like that, like, it's can lead to like new inspiration. Like, I really like hip hop music, but if you try to like blend hip hop with the style of rock and roll that I like, it's like it's difficult.
Yeah.
Like, it exists, but it's difficult. So I think that, like, trying to find ways to sneak things that you love
Yeah.
into just like for me, like, it's drum breaks. I really love putting drum breaks in my songs because I feel like that's like a very hip hop thing. So whoever gets to play drums with me always gets sick time to do some cool solos.
Yeah.
Is there a genre that you would like to play but haven't yet?
I think my next band is going to be a stoner rock band, like Queens of the Stone Age, kind of like that desert rock sound. I think that that's like a little bit of grunge mixed into it. Like, grunge music has got to come back at some point. Like, you know, we're seeing a resurgence of the 80s, and eventually the 90s will come back. So I think that's like where my writing is going, is more like angsty grunge music.
Which actually would be great. I think grunge is one of the last big movements or styles in the music world that really had a big impact. And it was great fun.
I think there's going to be a counterculture with AI, and people are going to love cool shows. And I think there's nothing more cool than a fucking rock band up there smashing their guitars and just like, I don't know. Like, to me, rock and roll is just about like that grungy, don't give a shit attitude. Like, obviously I'm not going to go start doing heroin, but I think that like the idea of grunge originally had started was been like, okay, like, we don't care if we make it, and then they all made it.
Yeah, when grunge music hit, I was working in a electronics store, and then a friend of mine called me. He had an apprenticeship in the hotel, said, turn on MTV, you have to see it now. It was Smells Like Teen Spirit from Nirvana, and I just caught the last 20 seconds. It blew me away. Like, what is this? You could hear a lifestyle. I connected immediately with that. It was very real and raw.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, what would you say defines grunge music compared to rock music?
Grunge, like, the lyrics are all kind of sad.
Yeah.
So like that's what defines grunge, is just like this kind of despair, these weird suspended shapes where these cool minor voicings where it's just like very much, I don't know, makes you feel kind of icky inside.
And lots of tension.
Yeah. Lots of tritones. The guys that were writing those songs definitely like relied on just like drop tunings, like cool open tunings, a lot of them. Those just, it just sounds dark, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it seems to me also that was the feeling of life back then. Like, if you were living in a life where not everything was rainbows and baby kittens, right?
It feels kind of like we're heading in that same direction now.
And that's why it's getting a resurgence.
Yeah.
So, I
Everyone's
mean,
poor, man.
After grunge, I had the feeling that everything started to blend together. It didn't have any flavor anymore.
Yeah.
And lots of crossover, but not like Faith No More.
Once Pro Tools came out.
Yeah. If you look at the time after grunge, did we have a movement which was really a reflection of a lifestyle, of a feeling of a zeitgeist? Or was it more or less dissolving?
For me, like, I was a big emo kid, like pop punk, when that was a thing, 2006 to whenever it ended. So that was like pretty huge. And you're probably too old for that one. But
Well, I don't know if Depeche Mode falls into that.
They were like the precursors.
Mhm.
Like it all came from like that goth subculture.
Or The Cure.
Yeah, The Cure,
Yeah. Oh.
the Sad Boy. But then like, My Chemical Romance and like Avenged Sevenfold at the time and Metallica. And Metallica was more angry, but like the sentiment was, the same throughout all those bands where it was just like, okay, like I'm an angsty person.
Mhm.
And then like seeing things like how country music moves in America, like the biggest festival that I played was a country music festival. And just like that's like a whole culture.
Okay, but country music, that would interest me.
Yeah.
I cannot connect to country music at all. My mom was a big country music fan, and it drove me crazy when she put on those records. What is it about country music that you react to? Like, what is your connection to it?
Guitar playing. Like, I don't know, just something about the guitar players and like the cool bends. I've always been drawn to that style of guitar playing.
Mhm.
That's why I have a Telecaster now. That's the thing is like you got to make music that people can dance to, whether that it's like moshing or something. Like I feel like people use music as like a tool to get emotions out. So country music is very danceable.
Mhm.
It's so simple.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick up chords from a song really easily. Like,
Mm.
are you bored at all of like the country music being like 1 4 5, like only a select amount of chords, or is it like they spice it up in so many other ways that it doesn't matter?
Yeah, the guitar is such a cool instrument in which like there's so many things you can do to blend different lines of different genres into country music. Like country music, if you like go back and like, it came from like old western and then like eventually like rhythm and blues all just kind of blended together to what we have now, country music. So it very much came from like good beats and just driving bass and fun, cool guitar stuff that you can do on top of it. Like when the drums and the bass hold it down, so much cool shit can happen on the guitar. And that's where I enjoy country
Mhm.
music.
Mhm.
So you don't have too many country songs where you enjoy the lyrics? Because isn't like storytelling supposed to be a big part of country music?
It depends. Like if it's more folk music, like there's a
Yeah.
difference. Like country music to me is like singing about your like dog, your dog ran away and your wife left you and
Yeah.
your truck died or whatever. It's the blues, it's white man blues
Yeah.
is what country is. Just a way to like sing about your problems. But country music can also be like super uplifting too cuz like bluegrass, I love bluegrass and like that kind of like uppity music and I feel like that's a very positive sounding. So it's like
Yeah. What about bluegrass, right? Do you connect to that more or at all?
Bluegrass, I do connect the banjo
Mm-hmm.
to it, and the banjo I do enjoy because the licks and the riffs that they heard them playing, that's wild.
Mm.
I mean, that's shredding on a different level.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. I think like I wanted to play banjo, but every apartment I ever lived in, the neighbors would go crazy, and the banjo was very loud.
What you got to get is those. I really want to get one. It's a Line 6 Variax.
I had one.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are fucking cool
Yeah.
guitars, man. And you can have like a banjo sound, a sitar, and like it's got like 20 something sounds on it.
So what would you say makes live music special?
So music is a conversation between the artist and the audience, and energy gets transferred between the audience. And I think that that's like really where live music inhabits a different space than recorded music because recorded music is sterile, but then it's like monotonous. It's like the same every time you listen to it. But live music has a sense of it's ephemeral where it only exists in that place in that time. And I like that. Like I like artists that don't allow phones.
Mm-hmm.
I think that recording is something that I really don't like. So live music is just a way to get like a very unique experience, which is hard to come by these days.
What you mean with unique experience? Do you see it in broad terms or daily lives that we're getting cut off from unique experience?
Yeah, I mean, like most people would treasure experiences over things.
Mhm.
Also, like people are gonna like become more reacquainted with those experiences. Like people are gonna realize that once everything is artificial, they're gonna be like, oh, like let's go seek out something that is real.
Yeah, I mean, you said that you think that that might be a side effect or backlash with AI is just going to bring back live music just because that's something that AI is never going to be able to replicate at all.
Yeah. And I think that it's just going to be like a real grassroots movement and nobody's going to get paid,
Mhm.
but it's going to have to happen where people kind of take back that aspect for themselves because like really like the music industry just wants to become this giant where they can pay the it's a corporation little amount of money possible to extract the most amount of wealth. So they're going to focus on making stuff that sounds appealing to the broad population. And my goal is not to reach the broad population, but to reach a small population that maybe believes in the same things I do or like, experiences the same things I do. And I think that like if you find a community like that thinks in the same way, like it's going to be easier to build a local audience that's going to support you.
Which seems to be the normal or healthy way of living. Basically, where you live, the community around you, you get to know them and you make a real connection instead of sitting in front of a screen and connecting to people all over the world
Yeah.
that you can't smell and feel, actually.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think that it's like one of those things where nowadays when it comes to booking music and like going to see music, it's like you're only seeing these bands that have like developed a following beforehand. And there's not really like a lot of room for people to come into a scene. There's like very limited space. There's a lot of musicians.
Mm.
And I think that people are going to like start to value them more. And people are going to start finding more ways to play and play live. And a lot of the musicians that spend more of their time recording are going to have to get good at playing live.
Mhm.
Otherwise, like their money's going to go away.
But I do remember the albums when they would be recorded back in the day. You'd have the band, you'd set them up in a room or in a single room,
Yeah.
and they'd play together.
Yeah, that's how I do it nowadays.
Yeah.
The most recent stuff that I've recorded has all been done with a live band.
So, what would you say the difference is between playing a small room compared to a larger venue?
Small rooms can be like way more intimate. And so I think that there's power in both of those settings. Playing to a lot of people is just great for the ego.
What do you mean with power? Like, how would you define power or for you?
I think it's like a self-confidence, like power to be vulnerable and power to be authentic. When I get up there and I play guitar and I'm like, oh, like I'm doing something that's like actually really cool and like makes me feel good. And then like that's like a different side of me.
I've seen a couple of your shows, and you told a couple of stories in some of them. Would you ever do that for a big audience, like giving telling how you wrote this song or
Yeah.
interacting with them a bit like that?
Yeah, one of my favorite artists of all time is Todd Snyder. He's like old school folk, but he's just like a funny dude, and he would always tell stories about his songs, and his songs are stories in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I always admired that kind of performer.
Mm-hmm. Do you actually like have a set of stories that you tell to different audiences just because you know that now you've gotten it to a good, entertaining
Yeah,
level?
I try. Sometimes I just get nervous and I forget what I'm talking about. But yeah, I try. I try to be entertaining. Like for the most part, I just want to play. I just want to play music and let my guitar do the talking. Yeah.
Yeah. What's one of the stories that you tell often or the most often?
I think most recently I've been playing music with my partner Paige, and we have a band called the White Ducks. And the story goes is we were on an RV trip, and I was in the driver's seat, and I'd point out all the different birds that we would see. Be like, this is this kind of duck. I was really into ducks that summer, so I'd be like, this is this kind of duck, and this is this kind of duck. And she's just met me, like maybe like we'd known each other for like a month, so she's like, this fucking bird nerd. But we go to this nice location, like we're camping right on the beach, and she points out at one. She's like, well, what's that white duck over there? And it was a fucking seagull.
Yeah.
So that was what we named our band, the White Ducks. And that's like it's a funny story,
Yeah. I do like that about performers sometimes when they tell stories about it. I just think it adds an extra element that you'd never get from just listening to their albums or something like that.
I think Tom Waits, for example, I really like Tom Waits. The stories he tells, which are very surreal, are great fun. And he just creates a vibe. So you're in a different world when you visit his concerts.
Yeah. And they're probably, I don't know, most of them are not true, or they're just like making up stories. Yeah.
What I love about him is many people have interviewed him trying to find out more about his life, like to create a biography. And he's told so many versions, nobody knows.
He's like the master of deflecting things and recreating them.
Yep. He created a persona, and it's fantastic. You said before that you played a lot between 13 and 18, and then you didn't play for a long time.
Yeah.
Why?
I joined the military.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah. They kind of deprogram you a little bit. And I was also married. And so my life was a lot different. Yeah. I just didn't have like the will to play because I think I was beaten down by my life circumstances.
So basically, talking about power that you said is about you having power over yourself and using music to express yourself, like to vent it. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Is that your way back into life, into yourself after the military time and maybe that part of life?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the only thing that I can really like connect to myself on such a deep level and understand. Like I'm not really good at emotions. I'm not really good at like knowing how I'm feeling at a certain moment. But like if I write things down and I can, especially like the tone of the music, you can kind of be like, this song sounds like you're sad. Or this song sounds like you're happy. And then you can go from there and write words.
You're giving yourself your own therapy.
Yeah, I mean, like it's definitely helpful. It's a catharsis for sure.
I mean, I've definitely had that too, where I was in a bad mood or just felt like I needed to bang on the piano. It's just like, it can actually help. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a healthier way than smashing the walls or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the drum set's for.
Yeah. So what was the process of coming back from the military service to reconnecting with music?
It was gradual. And like I had lost a lot of information on the time that I didn't play, but my passion for it at the time made up for it because I was just playing all the time.
How does writing a song start for you usually?
Like I have a riff. Like I'm a guitar player first, and I'll write a riff and I'll write a chord progression, and then I'll just be like, okay, where does this want to go? Like, how does this song make me feel? Like, are there any one-liners that have been in my head? Like sometimes lyrics come first, but when it comes to like actually forming a song, I'm always writing the music first.
Do you ever like just hum out a melody as a placeholder kind of thing?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, I think that like I have these hooks, like either it's a chorus or a verse that just come to me, either like really early in the morning or really late at night. They just like come and they sit there, and they're like, "You need to do something with us."
Yeah. So, do you ever have like better ideas at a certain time of day?
I think my best ideas are like right before I fall asleep.
Really? Yeah, I've heard that before from other people too. Yeah.
Yeah. Right before I fall asleep, it's like the universe teasing me, being like, can't fall asleep quite yet. Just record a voice memo.
What's the process of writing lyrics for you?
It's like based on the music. So like I listen to the music and I think, what does this music make me feel? Sometimes I have like a theme already, but most of the time I'm just like, how does this song make me feel? And then I try to like write descriptive things about that. And I tend to be like very literal, but also like write with a lot of metaphor. So like I will write in a sense that I tell people how I feel, and then some sort of metaphor to relate that to like everyday life.
You once mentioned that songs don't come from you, but they come through you. Can you talk more about that? What you mean by that?
Yeah. Whether or not everything is predetermined, I don't know. But like the universe, there's energy that moves through us, and I think music is one of those things that's like it's too pure to like be of humanity. Like it's got to come from like the universe has just given us this gift. And so like sometimes I think that songs exist and they only come through you. They don't come of you. Like of course you're going to feel a certain way and you're going to like relate to that song, but maybe that song is just like something that the universe needed to get out.
Yeah. Makes me think of what you said about playing with other musicians and like trying to serve the song. It's kind of like getting your ego out of the picture and just like making what the universe wants to make rather than forcing a really long guitar solo into it or something.
Yeah, I try not to force anything. Like music needs to come naturally and it needs to feel like a conversation. So like, a song needs to have that quality where it just kind of flows.
How would you say when you can call a song finished?
A song's never finished because it just goes back to like the ephemeral nature of playing live. Every time you play that song live, especially like the way that I play guitar, I don't write guitar solos. I have like maybe licks, but I try not to play everything note for note.
Uh,
So every night's different. And
Yeah.
so it's never really done. It just kind of evolves.
yeah.
A song's not like complete until it's been played 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Ben Harper?
Yeah, I love Ben Harper.
Yep. I did get a few of his albums, studio albums, and I never enjoyed them because live, he's a phenomenon. He's really good live, but somehow the band can't transport what they do on stage into the studio.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. But every live gig that I've watched on TV is remarkable. Like you get goosebumps just watching them.
Yeah.
Why do you think human beings need music?
Because it's just like a way for people to play. It's like such a like childish thing to like have music and like it's pure. And I think that that's important in today's day and age to have something that's nobody owns music. You can just pick up a guitar and make it, or like even if you don't have a guitar, you could pick up like what I used to do and just that's making music in my opinion.
Like, how important is playing music compared to listening to it? Do you listen to more music than you play, would you say?
Whenever I listen to music, I want to be playing it. Like I play music all the time, and then I've set it up in a way where I could just pick up my guitar, just play along.
And have you always done that? Like just trying to pick up songs, like listening to them and work out the chords and everything?
Yeah, I love that. I love the process of like hearing a song that I know well or don't know super well, and then learning it. Like I love that. I love figuring out charts and stuff like that. It's weird.
Would you say that just trying to play along with songs and figure out the chords with your instrument in your hand is like the best way to train your ear?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing complicated about modern music. The music that I listen to, unless I'm listening to like Genesis or like Yes or like some prog, the stuff that I listen to is usually pretty easy to figure out.
But do you ever try to like figure out some guitar solo or a complicated riff too? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like I've learned parts. I've never been the kind of person to like sit there and like learn the whole Hotel California guitar solo. I feel like there's merit to that, but it's not just the way that I want to play. Like I want to listen to the backing track of Hotel California and come up with my own parts.
So would you say original music is a really important thing to you?
Yeah, and I mean, like, even if it's a cover song, like I want it to be original to me. Like I don't want to sit there and play things like the record.
Does the idea of success matter to you at all? Then is like, or what does that even mean to you at this point?
Yeah. I mean, like success is one of those things. Like if I looked at the most vain way of thinking about it, it's like having my own Wikipedia page. I think that like success for me now is like being able to just do what I want, when I want, how I want it. And, whether that's just playing my guitar to myself, great. If people want to like host me and put me up on a stage, then I'll do that too. Yeah, music has just become one of those things that's like, I don't think that I need to tie it to like monetary success. It just needs to be like, is it a conduit of my emotions, like a proper conduit? Because otherwise it's not getting out.
What if a young musician wanted to be successful in music? What would you tell them as your words of wisdom?
Man, I don't know nowadays. Like, I mean, what it takes to be famous is a viral Instagram reel, and I don't know if I could make one to save my life. So there's infinite tools. There's just infinite competition. So it's like, if I was going to be talking to like my younger self, it would just be like, just play a shit ton of shows. Don't need to get paid. Like, it's nice to get paid, but like, just go and play. And like, don't make it about the money. Make it about the music.
I mean, for me, the only reason I even think about success, even though I wouldn't pick that word, I don't like that. I mean, I just want to do like you said, be able to do what I want, when I want, how I want it.
Yeah.
I want to be able to play music way more often. And the only reason I want to connect it to some monetary thing is just because then I can play it more often. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't have to have a little bit of guilt with it because I'm like, oh, I should be working because I need to be making some money.
Mhm.
So you grew up with CDs, right? As your medium of listening to music.
Tapes and then CDs.
Yeah. And what would you say the transition from CDs into iPods and now streaming has changed people's relationship with music?
It makes music less valuable because it's like so easily accessible. And nowadays with AI music and like overproduced music, like it's so accessible to everyone, which it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just oversaturated. I don't know. It just like to me, like it feels like when I used to go to a record store back in the day or like a CD store and be like, okay, like what's new in the rock section? That just felt like a little bit more powerful.
But isn't it also the oversaturated market in everything in entertainment, like movies, series, and music? Tell me what you think. I do believe we have a certain limit in our capacity to actually take information in, right? And I believe that applies also to music. I mean, yes, you can have everything, but you actually also need time to discover and digest the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it seems it is just too much. Even if you find 3 great artists in one day, it still takes time.
Yeah. I mean, like I go back to listening to albums. Like I'll find an artist and I'll be like, okay, like what was their album? And I listen to the albums. And I feel like that's just like a better way to listen to music, in my opinion. I think a lot of people put their stuff on shuffle.
I mean, how about you actually have more experience with buying physical music back in the day?
Yeah, I just have to remember when there was still a record store.
Yeah.
So I'd walk in, and then yes, you had those headphones and the CDs out on display. And there was one album from Medeski, Martin and Wood. One song on there was called Partido Alto. And while I walked by, I just heard like this noise from the headphones.
Yeah.
And then I had to go back and say, like, what is this? And I put on those headphones and had to listen to that album. I was blown away. It was fantastic. And I bought it. I took it home and listened to that album. It was a great experience to find it and go home and dive deeper and discover them. Right? Or when we would buy vinyl records. So one of us would buy a record, and because we didn't have much money, we'd all visit each other. And we'd sit there and we'd listen to that album. So it was a social thing. And you put the needle on, right? Literally, and then you had to, and then it started, and you listened to the whole thing. And if you wanted to have a copy of it, you'd have to, friend give you a tape, and you had to wait the whole 45 minutes to record it, to copy it. So the whole process was more involved, like you were more involved in the process, and it was way more social. And nowadays, that's a big difference. It was social, you were way more involved, it had value. And so nowadays, basically every time, I get a link on WhatsApp or Telegram, that kind of stuff, or I send a link and it just goes back and forth. It doesn't mean anything really.
Yeah.
And quite often when I get something, maybe I just don't feel like it right now.
Yeah.
And I forget about it, and it's just, it doesn't have depth and value. That's it. So yes, it was actually very nice to have a physical copy and to have to take the time to listen to it. I've read this that they did some analysis on Spotify. Like they analyzed the hearing habits of people, and they discovered if not within the first 10 seconds, if it doesn't have something that gets you hooked, basically, then you lost. It's
I
not going
think
to
like
be.
the attention span of like Americans now is like 7 seconds. I don't know if that's true for
No, yes, it's true actually. Less
the
than a
whole-
goldfish.
the
A
whole
goldfish
globe.
is
It's like 7 seconds is like the average attention span nowadays.
Mhm.
So you got to hook them in that first 7 seconds.
I know. And it seems like it's probably getting ever shorter now. Like the TikTok is getting to be like,
That's why I always have
biggest thing.
big drum fills right at the beginning of my songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your opinion of AI in music?
I think that it's both good and it's bad because it's like, to lower the bar of entry for people to create music, great. Like, I think that if there's something that they want to get out, that they can use these tools to get out. It's just like switching from tape to Pro Tools. It's just another tool that people can use. I think that for me personally, it's not a tool that I want to use for any kind of like recorded music. I think that it's good for like being able to demo things. It can like create full productions fast, which is cool, but it takes away from like the whole ethos of music being this ephemeral thing where you can experience it in the moment. So it's just one of those things that I think it's like overhyped. People are gonna probably like end up not liking it because it's so robotic. For now, it's just gonna like flood the market, and then eventually people are gonna be like, we want something that's real.
So for you personally, what is like a pro of using AI? I think you use Suno, right? Yeah.
Like I said, like demoing is great. And like if you have an idea for a song, or if you need like, I need a cool backing track, like
Mhm.
I want to like flesh out an idea, you can create backing tracks really easy.
And so then do you actually like, listen to that backing track and like just pick out what the guitar is doing in that and then like, oh yeah, that works pretty well for this, or how do you
Yeah,
use it?
I mean, yeah, for like stylistically, like I'm not like a huge like neo soul player, but I have some songs that like might sound cool with like some guitar licks.
Mhm.
So I was just like, okay, like let's see what happens with this song, see what a robot is gonna think sounds good. And then from there it's like, okay, like you can build backwards from that and be like, okay, like what did I like? What didn't I like? There's been nothing that the robots ever made that I've been like, this is perfect.
Mm.
I've always been like, there's something about this that I just really don't like.
Mhm.
So I think that we've got a long way to go. But it's great for just fleshing out ideas, like looking for cool parts, like especially like for instruments that I don't play.
Yeah.
Trumpets, horns, strings.
And so looking ahead to the future, maybe 20 years or something, are you optimistic about the future of music? Do you think AI is going to be a big part of that, or it's like just a fad right now?
It's just a fad right now. Like I think that like it's going to be harder for musicians to make money playing music, but I also think that like there's going to be a shit ton of like just grassroots shows, and I think that like more people are going to appreciate live music.
And do you think that there'll be any big new genres that are exciting, or some kind of big musical movement that'll happen? Or is it like the world is so interconnected and complicated at this point that can't even
I just
happen
want
again?
rock and roll to come back, man. Like rock and roll's been dead for at least 20 years.
It's
Like
quite something.
since emo music, like that was like the last time that rock and roll was like guitar based music was really important. But yeah, rock and roll music just needs to come back in general. Like smashing guitar kind of rock and roll.
Why do you think it needs to come back?
I don't know. I think that those are like cool shows. Like going to a rock show and hearing loud guitar and seeing cool lights and fog and whatever else. Maybe like it's just cool, man.
As a last question, if you could go back and have a conversation with your younger self when you were first getting into music, what would you tell him?
Just to play music. It's called playing music, so treat it like that. It's play. Have fun with it. Doesn't need to be that serious. You're gonna make it serious a lot of the time, and it needs to be serious a lot of the time. But at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, then reevaluate what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for the conversation, Luke.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for coming over.
Yeah.
Later, guys. Yeah, this song's called End of Your Rope, and I started writing this when I was like ready to leave America. I was just kind of like fed up with everything that was going on there. So I started with this idea that it's like you never really know that you're at the end of the rope until you're falling off of it. I had reached the breaking point. I had reached the burnout point. So that's what I wrote this song about. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel the walls closing in around again. I swear this room never felt so small till I forgot how I got in here at all. I don't belong here. I don't feel welcome anymore. I don't belong here. You see me walking out that door. You don't know you're at the end of your rope. You're at the end of your rope. You don't know you're at the end of your rope. You're at the end of your rope till you fall. A war for peace is raging while all the poor are suffocating. Reject the evidence of your eyes and listen only to their lie. I don't belong here. I don't feel welcome anymore. I don't belong here. It's getting harder to ignore. You don't know you're at the end of your rope. You're at the end of your rope. You don't know that you've lost all hope. You've lost all hope till it's gone. You dig your homes on borrowed ground, then curse the earth for burning it down. You laugh the loudest, stupid and proud. Don't know you're at the end of your rope. You're at the end of your rope. You don't know that you lost all hope. That you lost all hope. You don't know you're at the end of your rope. You're at the end of your rope. You don't know you're at the end of your rope. You're at the end of your rope till you fall. Broke my pick.
Thanks for listening to the Musical Musings Podcast. If you enjoyed the conversation, we'd love to have you join us again for the next one. Until then, keep listening, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time.